Hi, lovely people, welcome back to my channel. Now, today's class we shall be looking at how to make this fine, sexy um dress. Okay, all right. So, looking at the picture, you will see exactly what we are about to make. So, just follow us gently, and please, if this is your first time, don't forget to hit on that red icon to subscribe. Also, touch the notification bell to be the first to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Okay, so looking at the picture, you will see that we have three stages of the cutting of the gown. Okay, so the half length, the our under hip, then the ruffles at the down part. So the first thing we have to cut now is from the half length to the under hip measurement. Okay, so what you have to do first is to consider the length of the dress, and the length of the dress we are working with is 40 inches. Okay, all right. So the half length you are working with is 16 inches. So I'll just take away 16 from those 40 and we're left with 24 inches. Okay. All right. So the next thing I have to do now is to get my ruffles. Okay. So now from your waist measurement, take to the under hip. Okay, and what I have from the waist measurement to my under hip is 13 inches. Okay, so I'll be adding extra inch to it to make it 14 inches so that it will not be exactly at the under hip, sorry. So that 14 now I will reduct the 14 inches from those 24 and I'll be left with 10 inches. Okay, I'll be left with 10 inches. So now we have everything down. So the half length is 16 inches, then the half length, then our under hip, the under hip is 14 inches, then the ruffles is what is 10 inches. Okay, and the ruffles is 10 inches. All right. So the first thing I have to mark out here is our under hip measurement. So our measurement will be starting from this point. So I'll go ahead now to take the 14 inches. I'll measure out the 14 inches. Okay. Then I'll add extra 1 inch to make it 15 inches. First, I'll be joining the down part and I'll also be joining this to the upper part. So I'll be using 15 inches here. I'll just go ahead to make a straight line. Okay. Then again, we will take our hip measurement. The hip measurement is 9 inches. Then our under hip is 13 inches. I'll just connect this. Okay, so here is our waistline. The waistline I'm working with. Okay, first I folded this fabric into 4 to cut the front and the back, and I left some inches here for a zip. Of course, it will be having a zip at the back. I have 1.5 inches left out there for the zip. Okay, so the waist I'm working with is 30 inches. When divided by 4, I will be having 7.5. So I'll be starting my measurement from those points. I'll measure 7.5 inches. Okay, then I will add extra inches for my ease. I'll be adding 1.5 inches for the ease. Okay, then coming to our hip, I have my hip measurement to be 41 inches. When divided by 4, I'll be having 10.25. So I have 10.25 as the hip measurement. 10.25 as the hip measurement. So the next thing is our under hip measurement. And I have the under hip to be 39 inches. So I'll also divide it by 4. So my under hip is 39 into 4 to give us 9.25. So I'll mark my 9.25 for the under hip here. Okay. All right. So here I'll also add my allowance of 1.5. Sorry, at the hip measurement also I'll be adding 1.5. Okay, for seam allowance. Okay. So I'll just go ahead now to connect all those lines from the waist to the hip. So I'll just extend this line now down to those 15 inches. So I'll also go ahead to blend this. Okay, so this is just the about the waist to the under hip. So I'll go ahead now to cut this out. So here I have my down part, okay, from the waist to the under hip. So I'll just put this aside now and fold to cut out the upper part. Okay, for the upper parts, I'm also going to be folding it into 4 again to cut out the front and the back. So what we have for our half length, let me just make a line here. So the half length is 16 inches. Then I'll add extra 1 inch for seam allowance to make it 17 inches. So here I'll be marking the 17. So now I'll take our shoulder measurement. The shoulder I'm working with is 16 inches. Divide by 2 will give us 8 inches. I'll be adding extra half inch to it for the joining of the sleeve. Then here I'll also mark our 3 inches for shoulder slope. And at this 8.5, I will come down by 1 inch. And I'll also add our armhole measurement. The armhole I'm working with is 19 inches divided by 2 to give us 9.5. But because those dress is a kind of a little bit stretchy, I won't be using that 19 inches. I'll be using 18 inches. So I'll be using 9 inches. So from this 1 inch now, take your 9 inches. Okay, so here now, I'll be taking the bust measurement at this point. Okay. So I'll go ahead to connect the shoulder, the 3 inches to this 1 inch. Okay, so having done this now, we go ahead to place our bust measurement and the waist measurement. The bust I'm working with is 40 inches. Divide by 4 to give us 10 inches. So from here, I will mark our 10 inches. Then I'll also add allowance of 1.5 inches. The waist I'm working with is 30 inches. Divide by 4 to give us 7.5. So I'll mark our 7.5. And I'll also add allowance of ease of one, the seam allowance of 1.5. Okay, all right. So I can go ahead to connect this, the bust and the waist. So the next thing to do is to curve our armhole 9 inches. Half of it is 4.5. Okay, so at this 4.5 now, I'll come out by half an inch. So I'll first of all connect the main one to the bust measurement. You can use your French curve to do this. Then the half inch, I will connect it to the upper part. This is for us to get our front armhole. Okay, just mark a half inch out of the center of your armhole, then still connect it to the bust measurement. Okay, all right. Please bear with me if this chalk is not that visible. Okay. Okay. So the neckline I'll be using for this, I'll be using a width of 3.5 inches. Because looking at the picture, you see the kind of neck the picture carried. So I'll be using 3 inches for the neck width, and I'll be using 4 inches for the front, and I'll be using 1.5 for the back. Sorry, I'll be using 1 inch for the back, then 4 inches for the front. So I'll just go ahead, connect this from this 3 inch to this 1 inch, then from this 3 inch again to this 4 inches. I'll just go ahead now to cut this out. Okay, so I've cut out the armhole for the back, and I've also taken away the neckline for the back also. So I'll just separate the two now to take the armhole for the front and that's of the neckline. So this is for the front and this is the back. All right, so now we'll move over to cut out the ruffles of the down part. Okay, for the down part, remember that we divided everything, and what we have for the ruffles is 10 inches. But looking at the picture, you will see that it is a two-step, okay? So the first step, which is the down one, will be the one that will complete the length, okay? Then we now have the second pleat. Okay, here I have a length of about 3 yards, okay? All right. So here, I have 10.5 inches for the first pleat. Okay. So I'm going to be gathering this at the down part. Then here I have the same length, and I have 6 inches here. Okay. So I will gather this too. Okay. Then join it to the down part. Okay. Right. Okay. Here I have my sleeve cut out. Okay, so this is a um buff sleeve. So I'm going to be pleating up this one. Okay, and here also I have 9 inches here because I'll be adding band to here to this point. So I have 22 inches from this point to this point, which is the length. Then this one is not inclusive because this is the extra 3 inches we added for the buff. Okay, so here to this point is 22 inches, and I'll be folding here to add my elastic band. Okay, sorry that I didn't show the cutting part of the sleeve, but I also have a tutorial on how to cut this buff sleeve, okay, where you will learn it very well. So I'll be adding the link to the description. So just click on it and watch how to cut this buff sleeve. Okay, so now we'll go to the machine and join the whole dress together, starting from the upper part. So I'll be joining the upper part, the shoulder, and of course I will be taping the neckline. I will not be cutting out facing for it. I will tape out the neckline. So after joining the both shoulders, I will tape the neckline. You can feel free to um cut a facing for your own. Then if you are making this dress using an Ankara, then you can cut your lining to it, but this won't be having a lining. So I'll just join the both shoulders, then tape the neck line, after which I will proceed to join the down piece of the dress. Okay. Okay, so here I have joined everything together, both the shoulder and the sleeve. Okay, and I've also joined the down part. Okay, so this is it. This is the front piece. This is the neckline. Okay, I've joined the sleeve. So looking at the sleeve now, let me put it well so you will see what I am saying. Okay. So we have the sleeve like this. So you have to just pleat the upper part. Okay, so that it will stand this way. Okay. So I'll fold down part where I'll be inserting our elastic. I'll just insert the elastic to fit the round sleeve of the client. I'll also join the down parts and the back piece also, and I'll fix the zip for it. I use an invisible zip. Okay, so I'll fix the zip, and this is the down part. I've closed it off, reaching to the down of the dress. So what I have to do now is to use the body measurement to shape the both side. Okay, I'll use up the body measurement to shape the both side. Then when I'm shaping it out, reaching, I will close one end to the end. Then at the other side, I will be leaving just 1 inch. Okay, I will just leave, sorry, I will just leave like 5 inch at one side of the end, so that it will enable me fix properly the so it will enable me fix this well. Okay, I'll be able to fix the ruffles. So I'll just go to the machine. When you look at our picture, you will notice that the ruffles they didn't close as in fold down part. Rather, they folded it like this to be like a double ball. I'll just call that ball, okay? So just fold it like so, using the right face. Fold into two this way. Then I'll just do a stitch here. I'll stitch it up to the other end. Then I will now gather it. Okay? I'll now gather it and fix it so that when I fix it to the dress, I'll be having something in this form. Okay? To be like so. I'll also join the second one. Okay? Alright, so I'll just go to the machine, do that, and that will be all. I'll come back and show you the finishing part of the dress. Okay, so this is the result of our dress. As you can see, this is the sleeve. Okay, this is where we inserted our elastic. And this is the rough part. So thank you for watching till the end. Till we meet in my next class. Love you all. Bye.